if I'm not late, did I really even show up? I always tell my husband that time isn't real, so if I'm late, that's not true. I'm actually really discombobulated because I am really out of my element today. But we are going to be talking about some interesting things. We're going to talk about two family dynasties and how they kind of overlap, or I wouldn't say family dynasties, more like financial infrastructure dynasties, and how those two dynasties control a lot of the public control. So I'm just going to get into it and I'm just going to go and get started. Okay. So I'm on one screen today. So bear with me. There's going to be some hiccups and hopefully I don't burp. But we're going to talk about the Wynns. And in 2024, a single Las Vegas casino company handed the Department of Justice $130 million and admitted to wrongdoing to make a criminal case disappear. That's the Wynn family with Stephen Wynn. That same year, the man who built it quietly wrote a $500,000 check to a youth political machine called Turning Point. And his nephew, he was texting that movement's founder, Charlie Kirk, the words, "When the dust settles, let's debrief and figure out next steps." Then Kirk was gone. A rumor said his widow had moved on with the Wynn nephew. They both said that's false, and I actually believed them. But forget the romance. The real question is why nobody's asking, why was a casino dynasty wired into a youth voter operation in the first place? Tonight, we follow the money, the data, and the documents. I'll tell you what's proven, what's reported, and what's my read, and who the heck are the Wynns. So I am going to share my screen and let me know in the comments if the sound is off because I can make some adjustments. I also do want to say, disclaimer, all of this information I talk about today is public information on public platforms. And I want to mention the fair use copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes for such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and any research. Thank you, KK Loves the Truth, for letting me know that I sound okay. All right, so we're just going to get into it. So, oh, I forgot how to share my screen for a second. That's funny. Okay, my hair is like on my face, and I thought my face was, what is this? This hair is just like there, and it's like I have a little hair microphone, like a spy or something, where I'm like, the eagle is landing. The eagle is landing. That's what I feel like is going on right there. But that's definitely just a hair. Obviously, I can't do my hair. A corn husk hair? That's funny. That's real funny. That's not me saying that, by the way. Okay. So okay. I'm so discombobulated because I'm on one screen. And I know you guys are like, oh, that should be so much easier. Thank you. I know, but it's because I have presenter windows. Okay. Here we go. And then make sure I can see in case anything goes wrong on StreamYard. This is actually going to be very difficult. Okay, and there we go. I'll be tiny today. Yeah, because I don't think this is a good look. Not a good look. It's too small. I can't decide. I kind of like this one. Okay. All right. So, very first thing we're going to talk about is that political machine and how it's weird. But first, I want to talk about Shabbat Shalom, Daddy's Home. The thing that made me originally dive into this was number one, our teacher, Baron Coleman, um, he started talking about the rumors and the Project Constitution post. So shout out to Project Constitution for even posting that in the first place, doing journalism and taking the heat for some of those stories that are difficult. I don't always think people have ill intention when they are posting things on the internet, and I think that this is a really important thread to the story. Do I think that they're dating? No. If somebody reports something to you, are you wrong for reporting that to the public? I don't know. I don't think so. So, very first thing that caught my eye as I start searching on who the heck is Blake Wynn, I realized that I think this is his sister is tagging him in a post on Instagram 697 weeks ago on January 18th, 2013, saying pre-bar mitzvah dinner, Shabbat Shalom. And there's a cute little selfie of them trying to be gangsters. Not really sure. Gang, Theo Vaughn, I guess, but it's a look. It is a look. And it made me wonder, is this where she's getting this from? And yeah, anyways, I'm also laughing because right now, I have multiple pillows behind my camera, and I have my computer on an ironing board in a hotel room. And I also have my microphone on a bucket and two pillows behind me because this is the most uncomfortable chair that I have ever sat in my life. So Blake Wynn today, in 2019, well, actually, he was born in 2000, I believe. So in 2013, zooming in again, yeah, in 2013, he would be about 13 years old, depending on when his birthday is. So, yeah, that's when it says. I actually think his birthday, though, it actually says that his birthday on some of these websites is December of 1999. So, he would have just been like 13, I think, if I can do math, or I'm off by a year. Don't ask me to do math. Don't ask me to do math. Actually, hold on here. It's not going to say the year of this article. I love that. I love that for us. Okay, I'm exiting out of that. So we're just going to go on to the next thing, but I thought that this was a little bit funny as well. So we're going to talk about who the heck are the Wynns. So we have a lot to go in here. Who is Steve Wynn is the first thing that we're going to talk about. And Steve Wynn built the modern Las Vegas. A lot of what you know in modern Las Vegas, or if you've been in the past 10 years that you know. He built the Mirage in 1989, the Bellagio about 10 years later in 1998, then the Wynn and Encore. The Wynn and Encore are kind of like two large buildings put together. He didn't run casinos. He designed the city's whole luxury model. He also apparently has a apparent eye disease, a degenerative eye disease. And this is context for the famous 2006 Picasso incident we're going to talk about today. Number one, this dude owned a Picasso. Number two, he put his elbow through it and then sued the insurance company for the value that he lost for putting his elbow through his Picasso the night before he was supposed to sell it. I also do really like a lot of the things that he built in Vegas. So KK loves the truth. I see that. I went to Vegas when I was 16 with my family for an event. I was in something competitive, and we had like a whole thing there for a week, and then we did a week family vacation after that. Vegas is definitely something you can go to for 4 days and be good. So, and I love that as someone who used to really love the Buffalo slot machines. but especially when you can't play the Buffalo slot machines. Not fun. I remember my dad got really upset with me, and I'm gonna bring this up because I know that he'll watch this later if he's not watching right now. But I really just wanted watermelon one day, and my dad like, we were going to a buffet, and the buffets in Vegas are pretty expensive. I think that they could be, like, over $30 per person, usually more, and that was back then in, like, the early 2010s. And, I just wanted watermelon. I remember my dad getting so mad because I, like, refused to eat anything else, and my dad paid for me to eat everything at the buffet. So, that's Las Vegas. Also, I remember being traumatized by how far everything was, but I will say, um, some of the things Stephen Wynn designed there with his brand are some of the coolest things there. The water fountain at the Bellagio is such an experience to see. I feel like you could see that multiple times a day and never have enough. And I remember because I'm from the middle of nowhere, Indiana, I remember being baffled walking around the shopping center. And I remember saving up and buying a Coach little wristlet thing. And yeah, I remember buying it from that Coach there. And I'm also laughing because context, and there's nothing wrong with Coach. But when I went there when I was 16, I thought of Coach like it was Chanel or Hermes. So, do I buy Chanel or Hermes? No, I wish. But then I remember it felt like that, and they made me feel like that. They made me feel really special. So, I do remember that. I see someone else loves the Buffalo slot machine in the chat. I see you, KK. All right. So, um, moving on though, he kind of integrates himself into this whole circle because in January of 2017, Trump named him the RNC finance chairman, or he was named the RNC finance chairman at that time. I don't think Trump directly did that. So I think I noted that wrong right there. And he was the party's top money job. He had the party's top money job. He was not the party's top money job. This is why I can't read. Cornfield. Um, and then Wynn Resorts was among one of the biggest inauguration donors too. And he donated over $700,000. It was like $729,217. Um, and then in 2018, in January, the Wall Street Journal publishes dozen of people recount pattern of sexual misconduct by Las Vegas mogul Stephen Wynn. He resigns from his company and the RNC, and he denied all of it. He denied all of it. Within 1 week in 2018, the most powerful man in Las Vegas lost the company with his name on the building, basically. And that was just the beginning of the legal bill. So we have a lot to talk about with him and kind of how he even got to that point. So this is a picture. If you're not familiar with Vegas, I have pictures of some of the beginning of this story as well. So this is a picture so that you can just kind of see on the left here, we have Wynn's first major Las Vegas strip casino, the Mirage. And then you have the Bellagio there too. It's a huge place. The Encore's there, and then the Wynn as well. So I also want to note showing this that in 2000, Wynn sold his company, Mirage Resorts, to MGM Grand, resulting in the formation of MGM Mirage, now MGM Resorts International. Wynn later took his company, Wynn Resorts, public in an initial offering, and Wynn was Wynn Resorts CEO and the chairman of the board until February 6, 2018. That's when he announced his resignation. He's a prominent donor to the Republican Party, and I think he also donated to the Democratic Party as well, and was the finance chair of the Republican National Committee from January 2017 to January 2018. And I just talked about the misconduct allegations as well. So he developed a crap ton of stuff. and it wasn't just in the US. So he also went international. I don't have a lot about that because there were some threads I wanted to pull on that I didn't successfully pull on in time. We actually were finishing a whole segment of like March Madness of the Erika Kirk boyfriends, the Erica France boyfriends up to Charlie, and the different variations of things she went through for titles and all of that. And it's something really fun that we've been working on. And then when Barron talked about this week, I was like, I have to talk about this right now. We're going to pivot, put that on pause, and then we'll get back to that because the boys will be boys and that will always be there. And I already have it most of the way done. And it kind of ties into the next arc of what I wanted to talk about, anyways. So that's why we pivoted. And I also want to note, we'll talk about it here in a little bit, but Wynn also is known for collecting fine art, including pieces of Picasso as well. So we have the legal avalanche that just kind of kept spinning. So it's a little bit bizarre how much it kept spinning. And in 2024, Wynn Las Vegas forfeited $130 million and change. It's actually $131,131,645 to the DOJ in 2024, admitting to conspiring in unlicensed money transmitting. The DOJ called it likely the largest forfeiture by a casino based on the admissions of wrongdoing. In 2019, $20 million was paid to the Nevada Gaming Control as a fine, a state record at the time, plus another $35 million from Massachusetts regulators, with another $500,000 against the CEO. Also wanted to note, in 2023, Steve Wynn personally agreed to pay $10 million to end Nevada's case over alleged workplace misconduct. So this guy's paying a lot of money out to a lot of people. And also want to note, this is something that I found really interesting with something that seems to connect all of these people for their love and hate for data and for having an enemy of data. The DOJ also sued Wynn under FARA, alleging that he lobbied Trump on Beijing's behalf to deport a Chinese dissident. This case was dismissed in 2024. So as we're stripping all of this down, like the Las Vegas Strip and people there on the stage without clothes, this is a fortune in legal fire fines. I mean, he was worth a fortune, but this is a fortune to be paying because that's a lot of money, a lot of liquid cash to pay in those fines. And it's really interesting when you see who is talking about helping him financially as well in the time period of that. So it's the reason that the rest of tonight makes sense. I also just want to state here, for the allegations of misconduct, he has continued to deny these allegations. This is not me stating that he did or did not do this, simply stating what's reported and what's out there in the public. I wasn't there. So then we have, hey, squirrely wifey, thank you for coming. Then we have Blake Wynn, the nephew. So Blake is Steve Wynn's nephew, and this is confirmed out of his own mouth. An example I'm going to use is from Poker News, so it's not a rumor. He's reported it in interviews. He said that Steve is like a father to me, and we're very close, in his own words. He started, or says that he was a top-rated eBay sneaker reseller at age 13, had a YouTube channel of 415,000 plus subscribers with 50 plus million views, with more than 50 million views. He founded in 2018 Wynn Sports, signing NFL, NBA, and Major League Baseball athletes. So that's familiar. And the Just Win holding company with Shop Just Win, a Shopify sneaker drop platform, is how that kind of all relates into what made him who he is. So he's a sneakerhead. And he is also the founder of the Celebrity Poker Tour, which is streamed on Twitch, YouTube, and DirecTV. And let me tell you, when we get to that part of the story, you're going to be like, what the frack is going on? I was like, what the frack is going on? And it's really weird to me how someone that is into reality TV in that world then gets into politics at the same time. So we're going to take a look at that. And then in the next episodes, it gets really saucy. So let me tell you. But we have different arcs, basically 2 empires in one city now. So this one picture is basically an outline of all of the episodes. So in the money, we have Steve Wynn directly donating $500,000 to Turning Point in 2024. This is reported through media outlets as well. And then we also have the Veritas station casinos, each giving $924,600 to Trump's 2024 committee and lit their casino marquees for Kirk after his death as well. So then we have the friendship. So Charlie Kirk was originally, and I'll show you that in a bit and why that's interesting, supposed to be at the 2024 Celebrity Poker Tour Championship. He was in the promo. I think that that's a really interesting thing for a conservative father figure to be promoting gambling when you are also gearing yourself towards a religious narrative. I'm not saying religious people can't like poker. It's just a little bit weird for your brand. But we all know about their PR. Then the reason why this really weirded me out is Blake published their texts on a post that I'll show today, the same month that Charlie Kirk passed away, where Kirk is saying, yes, I'm coming to CPT. The time of it is super weird. It's on a November 6th, 2024 thread. November 6th, 2024 is the day at like 5 and 6 in the morning, news outlets started reporting that Donald Trump was the winner of the 2024 election and was going to be president in 2025. So do I think that Charlie would be texting someone about a poker tournament that day? I don't know. I don't think so, but I wasn't there. So that's what it is. He told Blake, you're going to crush it. And then 2 days after the election, when there's a text on there that we're going to talk about the dust settling and Charlie being in Vegas in 2 weeks to debrief and figure out the next steps. Or no, I actually think it was Blake texting that, so I said that wrong. Kirk skipped the championship for the Trump transition team as well, so that's why I thought that was really weird. Then we also have the third thing over here on the right in the middle, so the flag, the TPUSA Las Vegas headquarters opening on March 19th, 2026 for the ribbon cutting. Erika Kirk is there with the governor, and In-N-Out is in the parking lot. So I bet they were serving hot fudge sundaes. Just joking, they don't serve hot fudge sundaes. That's why she corrected it to a chocolate shake, because that's not a thing and they don't have that there. You would know that if you got a milkshake there. So, I don't think you need a secret meeting to conspire for control, for a narrative, for power. The money is all public for the most part, and it was in place before any tabloid showed up, in my opinion. I don't think this is a relationship. I am not alleging a crime. I am not alleging a relationship. I am alleging potential for what people want and what they want. I'm back, everyone. Or did I even show up? I caught your bug. What do you mean you caught a bug? What are you talking about? Okay, so now we're going to talk about the timeline. So the first two things on here in teal are the grand opening of the two major Mirage and the Wynn and Encore, or the Bellagio. The Bellagio, later the Wynn and Encore, I guess. So I said that so backwards. Ignore this. This is a timeline that we're going to talk about. And Steve Wynn opens the Mirage in 1989. And then the Bellagio opens later the Wynn and Encore 1998. In 2026, there's a Picasso elbow incident where it's literally teared through and it sells for 155 million in 2013. In 2015, Wynn is discussed in the DOJ files, and people are asking about trusting somebody where someone is saying, no, my friends are very close with him. And then in 2017, he's named the RNC finance chairman, and this was a peak political position under Trump. In 2018, the Wall Street Journal expose comes out and he resigns due to allegations. He also resigns from his company. In 2018, Blake Wynn founds Wynn Sports. Later, it's Just Wynn Holding Company, or Just Wynn Holding Company is kind of secondary to it, and it's a holding company for it. In 2019, there's gaming fines of Massachusetts for 35 million, in Nevada for 20 million for Wynn Resorts. And then in 2024, Kirk is texting with Blake, and those texts are posted later in 2025. In 2024, Steve Wynn gives $500,000 to Turning Point. And then 2024, the Wynn Las Vegas forfeits $130 million. It's the largest casino forfeiture. I can't even say that word. It's like capicature at that time. And then in 2026, if you can hear that crunch rocket outside, I'm sorry, that's probably very loud. It's a motorcycle. That sounds really inappropriate that I just said crotch rocket, but that is what they are called. I'm laughing, and I'm looking at my husband, probably listening to me in his ear, trying not to laugh on the hotel bed across the room that's not on the one with the camera. But I can't actually tell what his face looks like because I'm blinded by all of the lights behind the camera right now. But in 2026, Turning Point opens the Las Vegas headquarters as well. Then we have the timeline of the Einstein files as well. Hi, Susan. Thank you for coming. Hi, Miss Jackson. Thank you for being here. I'm glad that you caught me live. I didn't know if I was going to be able to get it done in time tonight, but I do plan on going live again this weekend, probably on Sunday as well. So, yeah, thank you for coming. So, the timeline of this, and I'm gonna have this up here. I will publish it on my X as well at some point. I really suck at posting on X, so not a social media girly. But in the DOJ files, there are about 312 hits. Most are not about the relationship. Jeffrey actually held Wynn Resort bonds. There was some hotel marketing spam, like Garth Brooks is at the Wynn, and a used jet of the Wynn's being bought, and other people also named Wynn as well. On okay, cool. I just saw that. How is the map? Susan, what do you mean, how is the map? Do you mean, did I use a map to get here? I don't know. I did not use a map. I was a passenger princess. I did not use a map at all. I sat there researching the entire time. It was a long drive. Oh, interesting. It is interesting. There is a little bit more I would like to pull on there. There are some things secondary that we were looking into as well, but I don't necessarily think that he's completely guilty either. I think that sometimes when your first patsy isn't working out, you need a second one. So it was a little bit hard because I didn't want to insinuate guilt. All right. So the ones that I want to note on this timeline here, November 8th and 9th of 2015, we have Boris asking Jeffrey, "Do you know Steve Wynn?" Jeffrey answers no. Then, "My friends are close with him." Then cuts yeah. So it's a little bit weird because in October of 2017, Jeffrey emails Michael Wolff and asks, "What is Bannon view of Steve Wynn?" In the Bannon transcript, in the text, there's a text that says Wynn has a huge quack problem, KWOK, as do 5 other guys. Same with Adelson. And it's really interesting because this quack is Go Wingu, and it's an exact dissident in the Wynn Farah case. So it's a little bit weird because they're sitting there talking about it, and they also talk about a few other things. Then, January of 2019, there's some more text messages. And Steve Wynn wants an intervention is mentioned on there, and people are discussing very weird things about if he wants an intervention, then you know it's bad. Talking about a quack problem, so that Farah case, but Jeffrey's circle talked about Wynn. A discussion is definitely not evidence that Wynn did anything with that circle, but it is there. And he does help him sell his jet at one point when he looks to be having financial issues because who puts their elbow through a Picasso the night before it sells? And number one, who even owns a Picasso? Number two, if you own a Picasso, why are you putting your elbow through it? What if you own a Picasso, why are you moving it yourself? You're telling me you have a jet and you're moving your own painting? I would think that if you're auctioning it off or you're gonna sell it or anything, that you have, like, a whole group of people doing that for you. It's a little bit weird to me. It's a little bit weird to me. Thank you for coming, Deck Cass. So, it adds to the richness of the painting's pedigree. And then an elbow went through it? I don't think so. That's really interesting, Susan. I would like that if you find anything more about that, would love to talk about it. Um, hey, Amp, I see ya. So there is someone saying that someone's the lucky one about something there with an ex-wife. It's a little bit weird. It's all weird. It's all a little bit weird. Okay. Whoopsies. I am losing where I'm at. Okay. So basically this is saying the same thing. I just didn't go to the slide. Anyways, I put this timeline in here multiple times because before in a clip, someone commented that their time is very valuable and that I did not have a visual that was in the live. So I'm making sure that I'm putting it in here more so that people have a chance to see it because I'm not good at editing, and that's why I do lives. I like to talk about information. I understand time's very valuable. My time's very valuable as well, and I put a lot into this and into research. Um, but I am not a designer or an editor. I am just a yapper out here yapping. So that's me. That's who I am. Do I wish I could design cool, fancy, schmancy things? I mean, kind of, but like, not really. So sorry. All right. So that's why that is in here again. Basically, we have two threads with the casino fortune and a youth machine, and it's really interesting what happens to them in the past few years. Thank you. KK loves the truth. Um, we have a lot of convergence going in that braids together. So I have some pictures here of the Mirage kind of before it opens up, when the ground's broken and when we're looking at a sign that is over there where the name is from. Thank you, Susan. I like your comments. Squish the window to shorter. Oh, me? How do I? Oh, hold on. Wait, I think I did that wrong. Is that better? Okay, cool. I did it smaller so that I could see the presentation view, but it's okay. Zach, thank you so much for coming. Perfectly designed. I may have used a little bit of AI to help me with that. Otherwise, I'm sitting there copying and pasting and being crazy with the format over and over. So, my friend that helps me sometimes, that actually helps me all the time, um, gets really annoyed because I'm kind of a perfectionist and I am not meant to design things. That's just not who I am. But thank you for coming. I actually thought of you because I almost just burped and your reaction to my burp made me laugh. And I have like, we're traveling and I bought a bunch of San Pellegrino, and when it is cold, it makes me very burpy. So, I need to get one of those cough buttons because I keep forgetting to get one and plug it in, but my setup's kind of interesting today. So here's the groundbreaking, and then I have some pictures of just throughout and the progression here because I know some people really like a visual with it. Um, so Golden Nugget Inc. was led by the developer Stephen Wynn, and he purchased the future land of the Mirage in 1986. And it was a hotel casino that the castaways occupied a portion of the property, and that was demolished to make way for the Mirage. The resort opened on November 22nd, 1989. That's a really interesting day, I thought, because remember, Erika Kirk's birthday has been reported as November 20th, 1988 and November 22nd, 1988. So a year before to the day almost. And I'm like, wow, that's weird. Also, can't even remember my husband's birthday all the time. I get the month confused all the time because I'm not good at numbers, but somehow I'm out here remembering Erica's birthday. So that also makes me laugh. Here's a picture from the grand opening as well. And the Mirage was it was the first mega resort to open on the Las Vegas Strip. And its success promoted a building boom in the 1990s for a bunch of other large resorts along the strip. So if you go there, you can thank Steve Wynn for making all of us sweat and walk a very inefficient strip that people think is very tiny, and it's huge. Um, and prepare to just be wowed if you're from a smaller area because there's a lot going on. And I remember being traumatized walking on that strip. Um, the Mirage opened with several non-traditional attractions for Las Vegas Casino. It had animal habitats for dolphins and tigers, and a tropical forest indoors as well. It's I know, KK. They do look so close, and they're definitely not close. It's like 30 minutes even to get to one that is close sometimes, depending on the walkway above the strip. I know they were talking about changing that, but I remember being baffled, like, when I wanted to go get breakfast somewhere. I'm not a morning person, so its primary attraction when it opened was a artificial volcano that erupted nightly, providing free entertainment in front of the resort. In 1990, the Mirage debuted a magic show by Siegfried and Roy. I think I'm saying that right, who performed there for nearly 14 years. The resort also hosted Cirque du Soleil's first Las Vegas show and a lot of other things as well. So Cirque du Soleil was there when it started in 1992 and then returned to the property in 2006 as well. So, in 2006, with the debut of Love, a show featuring music by the Beatles. I love the Beatles. Then, Wynn departed the Mirage in 2000 when his company was bought by MGM Grand as well. So there's a lot of transferring. I see Squirrel saying, "Good luck watching that fast, Carol." That's kind of funny. But the Mirage closed on July 17th, 2024, and is expected to reopen under a new name in late 2027, which I found to be really interesting as well with the timeline of everything. The Bellagio, one of the most famous ones on the Strip and one that I think everyone has heard of, even if you're from overseas, is in Las Vegas as well, and it opened its doors officially on October 15th, 1998. The lavish grand opening celebration included the debut of Cirque du Soleil's the first public performance of the iconic fountains of the Bellagio, in a massive firework display. It was developed by Steve Wynn as well, obviously, but I have that in my notes, at a cost of $1.6 billion. The resort marked a turning point. I love how that was in some of these articles in the luxury tourism on the Las Vegas Strip. The Wynn Las Vegas Hotel and Casino officially opened its doors to the public on April 28th, 2005. So, as well, I have that in here. There's a lot of confusion with all of the different resorts, but I have some fun facts about this fountain because I was like, wait, I forgot about this since I was there. So when the Bellagio opened on October 15th, 1998, see, it's weird because it has like November, October, November. It depends on where you're looking. It had 3,005 rooms in a 36-story tower. That $1.6 billion is something that comes up multiple times, and it was the world's most expensive resort up to that point. Did want to note, though, the early revenue was way less than expected. And Wynn departed the resort in May of 2000 and I said this earlier, when they merged, and it was with a billionaire investor, Kirkorian's MGM Grand Inc. The profits improved under the new ownership of the newly formed MGM Mirage, later MGM Resorts. I also thought this was interesting because it's a 33-story hotel tower with 928 rooms, and that was opened in 2004. MGM owned Bellagio until 2019 when it sold to the resort to Blackstone Inc. for $4.25 billion, and MGM continues to operate the property under a lease agreement. The Bellagio Las Vegas, okay, have that on here. I already said that. Why did I put that on there twice? Fun facts. The eco-friendly oasis of the Bellagio. So the fountain's 8.5-acre lake holds 22 million gallons of water. It uses no water from Lake Mead or the Colorado River, and it's relying instead on the resort's own underground wells. I thought that was interesting, and I feel like that's probably because of the water bill they would have to pay otherwise. And the water there is super high powered. So there are over 1,200 water nozzles with extreme shooters capable of firing water up to 460 feet in the air. I was like, what? And it's actually taller than the hotel itself that it can shoot that up in the air. So it's just like, holy crap. Hi, Newsflash Podcast. Thank you for coming. And then there's also a bat cave behind the scenes, and it's a maintenance crew of up to 30 people working in a facility that's nicknamed the Bat Cave to service the jets and clean the lake, which I thought was super interesting. Um, I'm dead. That's 9,000 Ben Shapiro's tall. What is even why did you have to say that? Um, I also wanted to note, this one was really weird to me. So, I think I remember this on one of our tours, but the divers use a Bellagio barge to clean up the lake bed, and they vacuum up around $25,000 a year of tossed coins, which are donated to the local charities there. I thought that that was bizarre, um, as well. So, then we have, oh, the title on this is wrong, but this is showing the Wynn in the Encore as well. So the Wynn opened April 28th, 2005, and then the sister property December 22nd, 2008 as well. And it's just a luxury resort and casino located on the Las Vegas Strip. So the name's up there. Now we're going to talk about the Wynn incident. So in 2006, the painting, this is a Picasso painting, was the centerpiece of Wynn's collection, and he had considered naming Vegas his Wynn Las Vegas resort after this painting. Actually, I said that so backwards. It was the centerpiece of his art collection, and he had considered naming his Wynn resort after it instead of his name. During a period of anti-French sentiment in the United States and France, in response to France's opposition to the United States' proposed invasion of Iraq, Wynn decided it was inadvisable to give the resort a French name. Tell me you're a sellout without telling me you're a sellout. In October of 2006, Wynn told a group of his friends, including a screenwriter, um, it was Nora Ephron and her husband Nick Pileggi, Walters, and an art dealer, Serge Sirocco, and his wife, model Tatiana Sirocco, and lawyer David Boyes and his wife, Mary, that he had agreed the day before to sell the Le Rêve, I don't even know how to say that right, for $139 million to Steve Cohen. At the time, this piece would have made this the most expensive piece of art ever. While Wynn was showing the painting to his friends, apparently about to reveal the now still officially undisclosed previous owner, he puts his elbow right through the canvas. He puncturing the left forearm of the figure and creating a 6-inch tear. Ephron offered as an explanation that Wynn uses wild gestures when speaking, and he has that degenerative eye disease that I mentioned earlier that I'm not even going to say. It's retinitis pigmentosa, I think. Um, and Wynn said that he took the event as a sign to not sell the painting as well. I don't know. Do you know what the painting's real message is? Maybe I've been told as a rumor. I don't know. I didn't look into that part of it, but I can. It is a really interesting message. Or, I mean, I think that I could I have painted this? Probably not. But would I spend millions of dollars on this? Also, no. I think even if I had like a ridiculous a ridiculous amount of them. I was told it was meant to portray what's always on a woman's mind. Um, wha I don't even know what to interpret by that. What do you mean what's on a woman's mind? I will never understand people. Okay. Mm, I think a lot of things have secondary multiple meanings. Do I think paintings and certain things in literature have that? No, I think a lot of it is super straightforward. I'm not mad at you at all, but her face, yeah, it's like split down the middle. It's like weird. It's like discombobulated. She's like half a head of hair. It's like a heart, like a broken heart type thing. You have like a boob kind of out here. Don't even does she even have legs? She has fingers that need liposuction. I see her too happy. You think that's a happy face? I mean, she does kinda look content. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into that. Maybe it was a college Wait, what? I don't know. I feel bad if that's what that is. Listen, Picasso, the guy needed to clean it up a little. Clean it up. Clean it up. You see her I don't see how she sees I mean, she looks content, but is contentment happiness? That is a question. That is a question. I see multiple people think that that is a hot dog. Wow, we have a lot going on. Putting phone back down when I finish the day. I'm almost done. Well, why did someone call you trash? That's not nice. No one should have called you trash. Okay. This painting is trash. After $90,000 of repair. Also, like, what the heck? It costs $90,000 to repair a 7-inch tear. Guys, we are in the wrong business. The wrong business. I will now be getting into art surgery. And I'm not even going to go to school for it. I'm just gonna Google my way through and charge half price of what the highest bidder is, charging from now on. Wynn filed a claim to recover the money lost from this as well, and it's really weird. He filed a claim of $54 million as a perceived loss from, the insurers Lloyd's of London, an amount which would have covered most of the initial cost of buying the painting. When the insurers balked, Wynn sued them in January of 2007, and the case eventually settled out of court in March of 2007. Cohen bought the painting from Wynn in 2013 for $155 million. So, and I think so he bought that for 155 million in 2013, and in 2006 I think that agreement was 134 million. So ignoring the inflation, the price was estimated to be the highest ever paid for a piece of artwork by a US collector until Kenneth C. Griffin's $300 million purchase of William Conan's Interchange in September of 2015. Also, who's buying a $300 million painting? I'm up for adoption, is all I'm going to say. And I saw that someone buys the case of San Pellegrino. I do too. And it's really difficult for me living in the middle of nowhere to get the glass ones. But there's nothing like a glass San Pellegrino, even like the half liter. If you like Perrier, I will never trust you if you say you like it more than this. So it's just so much better than anything else. Okay. Moving on. Then we have Erika Kirk not with Steve Wynn in 2013 in the Las Vegas Strip. Looking great with that backlighting. And then here's a picture of the articles, of an article of Politico showing that the RNC finance chair Steve Wynn resigned after sexual harassment allegations. His position was from 2017 to 2018. I do want to note in here something that's super weird to me about this entire thing. Charlie Kirk is the youngest speaker at the RNC in 2016. After Donald Trump's election victory in 2016, Wynn is appointed as the vice chairman of Trump's inauguration committee and later assumed the position of the finance chairman for the Republican National Committee as well, so the RNC. Here's where it gets weirder. On January 17th of 2017, TPUSA registers Turning Point USA NFP, not for profit, in Nevada. Make that make sense. RNC, Charlie at RNC, Steve Wynn at RNC. January 17th, 2017, TPUSA is registering the Turning Point USA non-for-profit there. And then Stephen Wynn is the RNC treasurer, resigning a year later for those allegations. In February 2018, it's when he steps down from his company. And then we have May of 2018. And that's when we see Erika going to Israel for a husband, looking for a husband. And when she sees Charlie there at the airport, because he was there with Candace Owens, and they were there for the grand opening of the embassy in Jerusalem. For all of this to overlap with the data, it's disgusting. And I really would like to hope that that is nothing, but that doesn't mean that that's nothing as well. And I'm trying to not make these so dense. So this is an intro to some of these points that we're going to tug on a lot more with the strings because there's a lot of weird crap going on. So here we have Blake Wynn posting this on a public Instagram that was still unlocked as of earlier today. And this is him saying August 5th of 2019. So he's talking about a year before. So this is in 2018 as well. About a year ago, I just moved into my freshman dorm in NYC, New York City, to study entrepreneurship in college. I wasn't very happy, to be honest. Shortly after I moved out, got an apartment in NYC, New York, and started Wynn Sports with KBR Prince. Dropped out, and now I've got a place in Las Vegas. House tour this week. And he's much happier. The purpose of this post is to let everyone know that you are in charge of what you do, who you surround yourself with, and how you live your life. Everyone is different, so the way I fixed being unhappy won't necessarily work for you. However, the point is you fix it. So think about what you can do to make life better if you currently aren't happy. And no better time than a Monday. Also, I can't stand somebody that likes a Monday, but I did want to post that because who else is in New York at that time? This girl. So it's a little bit weird. It's okay to drop out of college when your uncle is a billionaire. Got it. Thanks. I also kind of weirdly dropped out of college the first time. But I did go back as an adult and it was 10 times harder. And I do not recommend that to anyone, but everything happens for a reason. And God called me to a certain place at a certain time. And I feel like I was able to touch a lot of lives and have my life touched in. Ooh, this camera's moving. I have it on a bucket. Just so you guys know, my camera is on a bucket and it's kind of wiggling because this chair. Huh? Oh, it's a microphone. My husband just corrected me that this is a mic, not a camera. Are you listening to me? Oh, you, because I'm shouting. Okay. Yeah. Oops. So I'm trying not to shout because if you're in this hotel, I don't want you to hear me. But anyways, this is Erica posting about graduation in 2019 in May and her graduation from Liberty University. And she's talking about, excuse me, her graduation. And she says, "This one's for you, for the loved ones and dear friends in my life that supported me throughout the past 2 years as I kept my head buried in law school books, who understand when I said, 'I'm sorry, I can't. I have a test due before midnight.' The ones that sent me insane amounts of encouragement and prayer as I silently pursued this degree and made my own career sacrifices, like turning down being a cast member for Bravo TV, Summer House, and other various TV show opportunities." Okay. To my roommate, Sydney Epp, who countlessly called out my snack castation when I stood in front of the fridge destroying the snack section instead of writing down my constitutional law papers, this weekend has your name written all over it. As I walked across stage, heart swollen with gratitude, and received my Juris Masters from Liberty University School of Law with honors, how blessed I feel to be able to call this incredible school my alma mater. So, once again, this one's for you. To the people I have met and those that I have yet to meet, I promise to use this degree and platform to give a voice to the voiceless and bring light to what is done in darkness. Okay. You're really good at that. Really good. Look at all those class rings. Squirrel, those are not class rings. Those are just like a lot of. There's a lot going on there. Lord have mercy. When you can't have the bracelets. Yeah, got that. Looks like she has a Mr. T approach to jewelry. It's gonna be called the Erica approach to jewelry before we know it. I do believe that. So, we have a lot going on with Blake, and we have a company called Enclave and Key that I could do a lot of speculation about, but I'm gonna not try to not do that. And we're gonna dig more into the companies in the next one, but I'm trying to give you context so that you understand that when we get there. But here in 2024, we have Blake Wynn tagged in a post with Trump in front of a Turning Point Action background. Peep the logo with our orange guy in charge. Um, and then, so this is in 2024, and it's posted November 5th, 2024. And the presidential elections were held on November 5th, 2024 as well. So I thought that that was a little bit interesting. And this person saying, having witnessed firsthand the hard work of Tulsi Gabbard, the relentless ground game of Charlie Kirk, 1776, and the leadership of real Donald Trump, it's clear to me that not only they need to win, they deserve to win. Vote. Okay. Why do they need to win? Like, what is it that they need to win by? I don't understand. Hi, Ronnie. Thank you for coming. Okay. And then in 2024, October 18th, 2024, Blake Wynn is posting tagging Charlie, Tulsi, and Trump. And he's saying amazing turnout at the University of Arizona for Charlie Kirk, Tulsi Gabbard, Bryce Hall supporting real Donald Trump. In 2020, he lost Pima County by just over 100,000 votes. If that margin shrinks even by 10%, Arizona will go red and the path to win the election open up big time. Who does he sound like? Tyler Boyer. Americans are making it happen. Go vote. Interesting. I like how someone said, "What a sad world." It's interesting. Interesting. Here's where things get more interesting. So the presidential elections were held in November 2024 as well. So Trump's thumbs looks like thumbs What? What do you mean? What do you mean? Hold on one second. I am double checking this because I feel like I just want to triple check this. Okay, so the 2024 elections were on November 5th. When did November? I thought it was in the night. Sorry, I'm double checking this. I don't remember when they called the winner. When the 2024. I want to double check it was the same night because I think it was. Yeah, okay. Just wanted to triple, double, quadruple check that. Okay. Yeah, no, okay. I'm making an actual live. Better late than never. That's what I always like to say. That's what I always like to say, my pal. So, the presidential elections were held in the United States on November 5th, 2024. The Republican ticket of former President Donald Trump and Ohio Jr. Senator J.D. Vance, who was very unpopular until he called up Charlie Kirk, defeated the Democratic ticket of the incumbent, I think that's how you say that, Vice President Kamala Harris and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. So, we have a post here. This post says, I want to know what happens when Joe Gatto and B. Quinn find themselves at the poker table with this crew. It'll be a TV must-see. Who do you see down there? All right. I'm also noting on here Blake Wynn 22 is the username of this post on November 13th, 2024. So you're telling me that you're posting this after Donald Trump is winning the election the week before? And Charlie Kirk, the head of the biggest grassroots movement in this country, is going to come to your poker tournament later that month on November 20th on his wife's birthday. Okay. I don't think so, but you do. So this post is on November 13th of 2024. So it's after that. And then I also wanted to note for context, this is a picture from the DOJ website earlier, 2 months earlier from this post when Las Vegas forfeits $130 million for illegally conspiring with unlicensed money transmitting business as well. So just wanted to post that these were real criminal allegations where they were transmitting businesses worldwide to transfer funds for financial benefit of the casino, and it was a huge profit. I also want to say something that I found was really interesting. WLV regularly contracted with third-party independent agents acting as unlicensed money transmitting businesses to recruit foreign gamblers to Wynn Las Vegas, or WLV. For the gamblers to repay the debts of WLV or have funds available to gamble at WLV, the independent agents transferred the gamblers' funds through companies, bank accounts, and other third-party nominees in Latin America and elsewhere, and ultimately into a WLV-controlled bank account in the Southern District of California. Funds deposited into WLV-controlled account were transferred into the WLV cage account. WLV employees, with the knowledge of their supervisors and working with independent agents, eventually credited the WLV account of each individual patron. The convoluted transactions enabled foreign gamblers at WLV to evade foreign and U.S. laws governing monetary transfer and reporting. And one example, Carlos Palermo, I can't say that, while acting as an independent agent for WLV, operated and controlled multiple unlicensed money transmitting businesses in the United States and abroad that conducted more than 200 transfers with bank accounts controlled by WLV or associate entities, and these transactions on the behalf of more than 50 foreign casino patrons exceeded $17.7 million. WLV also facilitated the unlicensed transfer of money through human head or human hat gambling, known as in Mandarin as whatever those, Ren Tao. In this scheme, a person known as a human head purchased chips at WLV and gambled at WLV as a proxy for another nearby person who, in some instances, because the Federal Bank Secrecy Act or anti money laundering BSA AML laws, was unable or unwilling to conduct financial transactions or gamble under their own identity. The true patron, however, would direct the human head's gambling. WLV knowingly allowed this form of gambling without scrutinizing the true patron's funds and without reporting their suspicious activity. In another example, WLV facilitated the unlicensed transfer of money to and from China through a method known as Quan Chen or flying money. A money processor acting as an unlicensed money transmitting business collected US dollars and cash from third parties in the United States and delivered that cash to a WLV patron who could not otherwise access cash in the US. And the patron then electronically transferred the equivalent value of foreign currency from the patron's foreign bank account to a foreign bank account designated by the money processor. The WLV patron paid the money processor a percentage of the value transferred. Like human head gambling, WLV knowingly allowed this form of gambling without scrutinizing any of that or reporting the suspicious activity. WLV also facilitated international transfer of money and conducted other financial transactions for WLV patrons whose activity should have been triggered with the filing of suspicious activity reports. For example, in 2018, WLV facilitated financial transactions worth approximately $1.4 million for an individual who 2 years earlier had been publicly linked to proxy gambling about a year before. While in the company of the president of marketing for WLV International affiliate, which denied entry to the United States because of the suspected associations of a criminal organization. In another instance, they allowed and did not report transactions involving millions of dollars by an individual who, according to publicly available information, had spent 6 years in prison in China for conducting unauthorized international monetary transactions in violations of other financial laws. So that's weird. And then, of the many unique authorities, HSI is able to enforce understanding in the investigating of the complex financial crimes that lead to holding criminals accountable for their actions. And it's one of the things that HSI does best, apparently. Okay. So, as part of this investigation, 15 other defendants previously have admitted money laundering, unlicensed money transmitting, or other crimes with the associated criminal penalties of over $7.5 million. So, this case was prosecuted by the assistant U.S. attorneys Mark W. Plethard and Carl F. Brooker, the fourth. I think it's the fourth. And the investigating agencies or HSI or Homeland Security Investigations, the IRS Criminal Investigations, Las Vegas Financial Crimes Task Force, the Drug Enforcement Administration, and Contact Media Relations, our director, Kelly Thornton, and his information's on there with the DOJ. I found that to be really interesting. And I found for this to be posted in September and for Charlie to participate in celebrity poker tournament with someone that's affiliated with this type of dynasty, even though that may have sold and they were still affiliated for the most part. It's not a good look. And maybe he didn't know, but I agree with you, Ronnie. I think that those things are very disgusting. So I think that vices in general are very disgusting. Okay. Wait, how do I pause that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm noting here this is a video from Blake Wynn's post on September 10th, 2025. We know what day that is. Do you see who's right there with his baggie? We have Charlie Kirk's security right there, right here, 3 guys. This is Charlie Kirk and Blake walking with him. Oh, another security guy.
Enjoy the show. Enjoy, guys.
It's also really weird to me that Blake gets up there and throw those hats out. I don't know. It's weird. I don't like it. So it makes me sad. So this is from the September 10th post, and
Yo. Here. Oh, here it goes. Try to tell you guys. Get close here.
see the security again, and you can see that's Mikey McCoy.
Oh, here it goes.
I don't know who that guy is in the front. I don't know who that guy is in the front. Look how tall Charlie is. Also, is it like normal to record your friend like that when you're walking? I mean, I did that like to my family on vacation, but I don't know. It's just kind of weird. That's also from the September 10th post. We're about to watch the other video on here, and then I'm going to go into context explaining this a little bit more. Oh, no. Oops. 1 second. Okay.
What's up, Charlie? These just came. I'm sending them to you tomorrow, but since I'm not with you, I figured this would be as close to showing them to you as it gets. They came out unbelievable. In fact, I probably should have just had my buddy send them to you. He actually lives in Scottsdale, so he mailed them here just so I could mail them back to you. But they are awesome. Wear them or put them up in the office or whatever it is, but hope you enjoy it.
So he bought Charlie a custom pair of Nikes with his South Park character on it because Charlie thought that was so funny, that show that was made about him. Which is very disheartening in the current legal proceedings that Turning Point has decided to take after that of comedy. But everybody's different strokes for different folks, I guess. And then in February of 2024, Blake Wynn is posting this, and he is tagging Tulsi Gabbard in front in a post with Trump in front of a no, wrong thing. I have the wrong thing in here. But he is just congratulating Tulsi. I had the wrong note in there. He's congratulating her on becoming the new director of national intelligence, and it was an honor of a lifetime to be the smallest part of your story and attend your swearing inside the Oval Office. But I have to say, I don't think this will be my last time in the Oval Office with you. What does that mean? This is being posted on February 12th, 2025. Blake Wynn, who runs companies in Las Vegas and donates to Turning Point, is saying that he doesn't think this will be the last time that he's in the Oval Office with Tulsi Gabbard. Does that mean he wants to help her run for president? Is he predicting what he's there for that October? Like, I'm a little bit confused. It doesn't make sense. But the posts go on. So this is July 4th of 2025. And this is a picture of him look at that. He's like trying to be, I don't know if he's trying to like look casual, not look casual. Not really sure what's going on there. He also posts a picture with Tulsi Gabbard, and Charlie's right here. My computer's going crazy. And Charlie right there, and then another one that looks like it's at the White House or Trump Palace. And good old country music sensation with Kash Patel. Is it really a post without these two? It's not even a melody without her showing up. It's like that My Heart's a Stereo. That's what Kash Patel sings about, his country music sensation. Blake is wishing America happy birthday. He says happy birthday to America. And thank you to all the incredible people who are making this country the best in the world yet again on July 4th, 2025. Interesting. I thought it was interesting what's on these here. But you didn't hear that from me. All right. Moving on. This is the post that that's posted about Charlie on September 10th, 2025. It comes with a few things on it as well. So it has multiple photos, and I'm going to go back and read the post, but this is the one of that event I think he was at with Tulsi and Charlie, what it looks like it may be one or two events he went to. And then there's that picture again, and here's a picture of him, what looks like is at an event. I'm going to go through and read this. This is still public information, but I just think you should hear this for context when I go back and show you what he posts about Charlie in 2024. So, dear Charlie, I know I don't have any words. There are none. There has never been someone in my life I've been proud to call a friend as you. And I really looked at you like a big brother. You constantly pushed me to be better, provided words of encouragement when I needed them most, and altered my perspective for better. The countless memories we've shared together will remain among my fondest. I am devastated beyond what I can articulate that we won't get to continue making more for the rest of our lives. You figured out how to balance being a world-class husband and father with leading an organization that was largely responsible for saving the free world with this last election. America may never truly fathom the debt it owes to you and the Turning Point organization. But you accomplished what very few men do, yet all dream of, which is that you truly left the world a better place. Above all else, I know you would say to trust God's plan. I don't have any idea how to do that right now, but hearing your voice in my head say that is the only thing I can try to begin to comprehend this. It will always be one of the greatest honors of my lifetime to have gotten to be your friend and colleague. What colleague? And not a day will pass where I don't honor your memory. There will forever be time for people to discuss what just happened, and rightfully so. But today, all everyone should be doing is sending their deepest prayers to Erika and his two youngest children. He has parents. Rest in peace. I look forward to seeing you again someday, my brother forever. P.S. For a glimpse at the Charlie I and so many others love, the last slide is a video Charlie made for my stepdad. Will, who is quite sick and loves CK. That's who he was. I mentioned what was going on with him, and he made this video sending him the best wishes. The rare kind of guy that somehow had more than 24 hours in a day. Truly the most remarkable human being that will ever be deeply missed. Number one, why are you only mentioning his wife and 2 kids? He has 2 parents and a sister that are alive and adults and that you would know. Because he also made a video for your stepdad. So he's obviously very family oriented. Number 2, what the hell are you working on that your colleagues? You own a sneaker business. What are you doing? Like working in the political realm? I mean, Enclave and Key is a really interesting influencer platform, media guru platform. I mean, is Charlie working for you for celebrity poker? No, but the person that says that people will do anything for alleged reporting and everything else is a lot more interesting than he wants to lead on, in my opinion. In my opinion. Okay, Sycamore, I see that. I'm going to mention that. I just started this show. Yes, Ashley Wynn and Michael Wynn are Blake's older half-siblings. Their mom was Phyllis Wynn, since passed. Super hard to find info on her. I am going to screenshot that. I'm actually just going to pull a Baron and take a picture of it because I take too many screenshots. Okay. Wait, why is Sycamore timed out? Marsh, we need to fix that. Sycamore, you're not timed out. That has to be a mistake. I have no idea why that happened. Nightbot is in trouble. Literally don't even know why that happened. That doesn't make any sense. It also irks me off that his parents are literally never mentioned as well. Sycamore, I apologize. I will make that right. I don't know why that's happening. So it's just really bizarre to me. He's posting this. And then we have the September 15th, 2025 post. So the guy complaining about people posting things for clout and everything else. What is he posting? His text messages with Charlie Kirk. Now here's where it gets interesting. So September 15th, Blake Wynn and CPT are posting this, and this one's on Facebook. And it says on September 15th, 2025, in loving memory of Charlie Kirk, may he rest in peace. Charlie was supposed to play in the 2024 CPT Championship on November 20th last year, but ended up being such a key part of the Trump transition team that he had to stay in Palm Beach and back out of the event. He remained a strong supporter of the CPT brand, often sending texts the morning of an event to let us know to crush it. Forget the politics. A 31-year-old husband, father of 2, and wonderful friend to so many, senselessly lost his life. His dedication to his faith and family is something all people can aspire to have. Violence is never acceptable, and it was carried out in the most brutal way imaginable on September 10th at Utah Valley University. Our hearts go out to Miss Erika Kirk, their children, and all of those at Turning Point USA and around the world who are mourning this tragedy. Again, not a single mention that this boy is a son, that he is a brother, that he is a 31-year-old man that has parents that are mourning something. Like, parents should, I'm like gonna cry even thinking about it. And I get it that he's friends with like his wife, but it's just such a weird way to like continuously frame this. And then also in the Facebook post, I don't think it actually tags her, but he's tagging Charlie. In the other one, to tag his wife the day of that is just obviously money can't buy taste. And that's probably the poorest taste thing I've ever seen. And that man probably drinks the worst kind of sparkling water. That's all I'm going to say. Doesn't matter if he can afford the best sparkling water. The guy's drinking Perrier all day. That's what I picture. He's just over there, pure acid water, disgusting taste. It's in poor taste. You don't do something like that. She just lost her husband also earlier in the month. Was it brutal? Was it violent? Yes. Was it as violent as Irina Zarutska? No, not nearly as violent. So, in context, weird way to put it, it's around the same time. It's something that people were super vocal about. I just yeah, it makes me sad. Thank you for being okay with that, Sycamore. I really don't know what happened with Nightbot. I have a few words that we can't use, so I don't even understand what I do know what happened, and I will fix that. So I forgot about that. Sorry. Marsh or Squirrel remind me to do that. You know, is it Kier Michelle XO? It makes me super freaking sad too, dude. I cry thinking about it. I all the time. And I'm about to cry just thinking about it again. I mean, when you lose someone like that, unless you have to let people know that there's a funeral or services to go to, it's just that's not even what you're thinking about to post. So I'm gonna stop talking about it because I don't wanna keep crying. Ugh, I'm so emotional right now. I bet they are terrified to speak out. Could you imagine the out I'm glad that this hat, like, covers my eyes right now, actually, because 'cause I'm about to have tears come down my face. Um, I actually could not imagine. I know what it was like for my grandpa to lose a son, and I was the first one there, to be with him after that happened, and that's why I think it messes me up so much. Because seeing a parent lose a child like that is just it's really hard. So, unless you are a part of the soulless that apparently are everywhere these days, taking the bribes. So, um, thank you for loving my heart. I like it sometimes, but then sometimes I'm like, dang, I wish that I did not care that much. It's actually really funny because my username comes from one of my employees that was making fun of me giving a damn about everything because I try to take so much pride in everything. I am such a perfectionist. So if I can't do something well, I don't want to do it at all. Because I want to be able to give it my all. And with putting together a presentation or feeling like I have enough information for you guys without overloading you, because I'm also trying to adjust to not make it like you have to take a whole notebook of notes each time you watch my show, and that it's not so much of a all the time because I know everyone's brain doesn't work the same way as me. My husband reminds me of that all the time because I apparently also have a lot of quirks, like saying the thing about everything. And I'll be like, the thing. And I'll say the thing like 10 times about something. And he's finally like, what thing are you even talking about? And I think that he just knows immediately what I'm talking about. Um, so yeah. Yes, yes, yes. I remember with the White House thing, I could not even look at his parents through my TV, especially the mother with that great I know. That was a lot. And I think I actually have a video of that, from Blake as well. The robots be having no emotions. I tell you can part of the reason I went back to school was a local case in my hometown, and it was something I felt very moved about, kind of around the DOJ files. It was actually a very similar thing, and it was someone that was basically about to possibly evade the law for the second or third time, and I sat and watched a man's sentencing of a case that I followed for years that was allowed to walk around my hometown, even though he had pled guilty, but didn't have his sentencing, to not even having an apology to his adult victim in the room. Um, and I think some people just lose their soul and they're just a hollow shell. I don't know if you give it up. I don't know if it's some type of infection. Um, but someone that's able to do that and not feel remorse, or someone that's able to do that, and look like that and act like that, I mean, you're sick. You've like a bunch of demons, but it's not human. So I do get really emotional about that. People hurting kids. So that was a very eye-opening experience for me. I actually used to really want to be a Fed until I realized that the Feds are a big part of that problem as well. Um, oh, I thought my husband was just talking to me. That was so weird. Okay. My grandma raised me a lot too, because my parents worked a lot after my mom worked a lot after school too. So I my grandma was the world's sweetest woman that ever lived. Funny story and trigger warning if you have little tots around, but my grandma always made a promise with me that she would never lie to me. She died in 2011 and I was 16 when she died. No, yeah, I was like 15, 16 when she died. And she knew that I was gonna marry my husband, like, one of the first times she met him. I think I've mentioned that before. But first day of kindergarten, I get off the bus, and these kids were making fun of me and saying, "Oh my gosh, you believe in Santa Claus? How dare you believe in Santa Claus? Da 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 da. You're such a loser. Da 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 da." And I somehow convinced my bus driver, who was friends with my grandparents, to drop me off at my other grandparents before we were going down the road. And she did, which would definitely not be allowed today. And I get at my grandma's house because I see her car there and everything, and she waves. She picks, like, shows the bus driver she's home. And I remember just barging in and being like, "Grandma, you said you'd never lie to me. Is Santa Claus real?" And I will never forget my grandma bawling her eyes out and explaining to me who Saint Nicholas was, because I was raised very Catholic. And I think everybody knows who Saint Nicholas is anyways. But I just remember her explaining that to me and feeling so bad for ruining that fairy tale. And after that, I was such a brat. I used to say to my sister when she would make me mad, Santa Claus isn't real. And I'd be like, Santa Claus isn't real. And I would like yell it at her all the time. But I definitely have my grandma's tender heart, which is a blessing and a curse. Um, in a lot of ways, because it's such a curse to feel that much emotion for others in the world. But it's such a blessing as well, because I couldn't imagine being numb to it, numb to the world. So yeah, yep, same. Um, that's really, I do have some, and I'm going to talk about those as I connect, like the Genesis part of what I was starting on with Lori and Erica too, because there's some really interesting similarities of stock things going on that I also noticed. Um, yeah, see, everybody's ADHD's out here going wild. The Korean War is crazy. My grandpa was in the Korean War, and I actually have some pictures that I'm sending away with a gift to someone. Um, that I've been really excited about because I didn't realize other people's families did similar things. My grandpa played in basketball tournaments over there, apparently. Everybody was a baller in my family except me. Couldn't even make my junior high basketball team. They only had enough players for the team. So can't play pig, can't free throw. It's I've got to be careful watching too many cat videos in a row. We get it. What do you mean? Are you playing the drinking game about cats? Or you mean you're watching my clips? I don't know. Yes, neurodivergent brains, pro and con. The way you looked at the door. Oh, no, I was trying to not cry, I think. Yeah, but thanks for saying that. I mean, sure, if they want to, they can show up. It'd be cool for the video, I guess. Just joking. That'd be really awkward. I used to play softball. I was more of a volleyball player as well. Emotions. Emotions with the cats? You're crying about the cats, bro. Okay. So, moving on. This is what's happening here, and we're going to get a little bit weird about it. So, this guy is posting this on September 15th, 2025, and it's tagging the celebrity poker tour with Blake Wynn and being with Charlie Kirk. And it's saying that Charlie Kirk was supposed to play in the 2024 CPT championship on November 20th. Remember, November 20th is Erika's birthday. That's when she also won Miss Arizona as well. Even though we also have November 22nd, which was one of the grand opening dates mentioned earlier. That's her other birthday. So he's posting a text message, okay? This first text message shows the date Wednesday, November 6th. So not sure if this is 2024, but assuming it is based on the tweet I'm going to show again here in a second. And Blake is saying, because these are texts that I would assume are from Blake's phone, because Charlie Kirk's up at the top of it. When the dust settles, this is what Blake says. When the dust settles, and then it cuts half of it off, which is a weird way to post this. Just in Vegas 2, I assume this is weeks, we'll debrief and figure out next steps in this. So when you read this and you realize that he also called Charlie Kirk a colleague, really fracking weird, okay? You also realize the date, Wednesday, November 6th at 1:24 p.m., is the day after the 2024 elections when Charlie's allegedly saying, yes, I'm coming to CPT. Charlie Kirk, who is one of the most important people in the Trump administration, is texting, saying he's going to a poker tournament that same month on his wife's birthday in Las Vegas. And it's weird because the texts to me, I don't know, they're just weird because it looks like here, and I don't know if this is before or after because of how it's posted, but there's a list of people and it looks like it's the people that are going to play. And then it looks like Charlie's saying here, because his name's up at the top, awesome, I know tonight is huge for you. You're going to crush it. That's what Charlie's saying. So it's a little bit weird. It's weird. Then we have this post on November 13th, 2024. The presidential elections, just to remind you guys, were held in the United States on November 5th, 2024. Okay? So the news outlets were reporting this on November 6th, 2024, the following day after the elections at like 5:30 to 6 a.m. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember, Kamala didn't even come out on stage that night. So it was already called. Now, when we're looking at this one more time, and we realize that this is on Wednesday, November 6th at 1:24 in the afternoon, you're telling me Charlie stayed up all night and then in the afternoon texted someone he was coming to a poker tournament to play cards on his wife's birthday in Las Vegas on the same morning that news agencies are reporting that Donald Trump won the 2024 election and would be inaugurated in January of 2025. I don't believe it, but that doesn't mean it's not true, I guess. Then we have October 16th, 2025. We have Blake celebrating Charlie Kirk 1776, and he's tagging him again. 32nd birthday at the White House as he was awarded the highest American civilian honor. The Presidential Medal of Freedom was one of the most powerful things I've ever experienced. He truly was there with all of us who were there to celebrate as an honor and honor him. I've never felt the presence of someone in heaven so powerfully. But to call the experience special would be an understatement. What was supposed to be a gloomy, windy afternoon in the Rose Garden quickly turned into the most beautiful afternoon in DC I've ever seen. I don't think there's ever been a celebration of someone's birthday so moving and impactful as what took place on 10/14th, 2025. Miss Erika Kirk and Mikey McCoy, you two are the strongest people I know, and Charlie is so proud of how you are continuing his mission. As Erika said, Tuesday was the best birthday gift ever for Charlie, and she's 100% right. But as he would have said, now it's back to work. Happy birthday, Charlie. I mean, it's just a month over after the dude passed away. I just don't, grief doesn't move like that. Like when you're in it in the moment, it just doesn't. It does not. Why is his face red? Her face is not red. What is that smile? Oh, hell no. That's all I'm going to say every time I see this. My husband is listening on the bed over there. If my husband is hugging someone a month and a half after I die like this, and the person posts it on Instagram, tagging him in it, and there's some face of contentment or anything, and my, husband is also hugging the vice president of this country and endorsing him, I want you all to just go ham. Go max. Okay? Go max for me. I will be going max. I don't know if you can haunt someone. I would be haunting him through and through. I'd be haunting all the people hugging him like this. So I wasn't ready. I mean, I wasn't ready. Look at that face, dude. Look at the face. It's disgusting. It is disgusting. Those are some interesting candles of choice. Oh, look at that. 2 days before J.D. Vance becomes the vice president ticket for the 2024 election. Huh. In the background. Interesting choice. Also tags Mikey McCoy in it. Nice photo. His face is not as red there. I mean, there's a little bit of saturation, but did you notice the face difference? It's kind of weird. I'm serious. I think my husband's laughing at me in the bed. I can't tell if he's laughing or not. Look at how red his face is. When does your face get red, everybody? Only at certain times. I also want to note, Mikey McCoy comments on this. Best day after 2 American flags. So they're obviously friends. Also, it has 32 likes. So technically, the 33rd person to like this is definitely a Freemason, is what we can all make an assumption of. I'm trying to read some of these comments. I think every single one of them does the non-freebase sniff sustenance. What does that even mean? The Coca-Cola? Is that what you're talking about? My husband's colleague touched his arm one time, and I was disappointed at how I was reacted. Yeah, I mean, I would actually want my husband to not be alone long term. But if it was that fast, I would probably have a lot of questions that wouldn't be answered because I would be, like, dead. But not to be morbid, I would be dead. But I would just hope that he honored me like Joe Kent and his wife. Not that I would be doing anything cool like that, I guess. Not that that was cool, but I feel like she fought for her country and everything. And lost her life in a very honorable way. Mikey does smile a lot. So, he's wearing a mask. What do you mean he's wearing a mask? Oh, one of them reptiles. One of them reptiles. There was something I was gonna There's something I was gonna say about this that I'm forgetting. Um, this right here. There will be forever time for people to discuss what just happened, and rightfully so. But today, all everyone should be doing is sending their deepest prayers to Erika and his 2 young children. Okay, ATK Media, if this was one of the things you told people to say, you really go 5,000 miles per hour Autobahn style on the disaster PR and don't think about the implications of that. Because, like, if you guys are working together, or there's some type of colleague, or there's some type of contracting with Enclave and Core, or anything like that, and especially if you're a nonprofit, you can't be mad about people talking about it then. It kinda also goes against your mission statement to tell people to not talk about it. So, that's just not how that works. That is not how it works. Why is his face red sometimes? What is it? It's because it's like when your face gets red when you're around somebody that you might think is cute, is what I was insinuating. Okay. On this October 16th post, he is posting all the things. The Presidential Medal of Freedom to Charlie Kirk is on here. Also wanted to note, I do think it's really interesting that the Presidential Medal of Freedom has the Star of David inside of it, made up of stars. I've always thought that that was very interesting. And I don't think a lot of people talk about that. And this is the same post showing it. I think it's crazy that people go on here and post these things. Please don't be one of those people. When you post things like that, number one, it makes people react in a way that's just usually not great. Number two, if there is something people need to find or to source or to look at, people delete things. Then you let them know it's there. It's just not good for anyone. It's actually very counterproductive to the goal. Takes a picture, posts it of Trump and Erika up there. Okay. Interesting. Also, it looks like he's, like, sitting in the back. So that be on there. This is a video.
This
Okay, so there's a lot going on here, and I'm gonna go back. Oops, too far. So I wanna zoom in here. There's not a lot I feel like you can see right here. I mean, that's looks like Marco Rubio up there. And then is this Pam? I think that might be Pam. Actually, it's not. I'm pretty sure that is the donor lady. There we have Tucker Carlson, apparently anti-Semite of the year. What is he doing here? And then we have other famous people. This guy's from some news station or something. We have Charlie Kirk's assistant right there. Is that Doug Ducey? I know that guy's face. Oh, would y'all look at that? That guy is his mask coming off back here on the right. And then this is that one guy that also has a talk show that says a bunch of things that was also arrested for like foreign influence, not arrested for foreign influence, but like had a big scandal. He used to be with the Charlie Kirk show. This is one of those girls that is on the show here and there that was actually on one of the shows with Charlie. Or not Charlie, but Charlie's assistant. And then this is that priest. Another news lady, I'm pretty sure. What's that necklace? Look at Rob McCoy, our boy. Andrew Colvett. Oh, that's a nice look. That's a bad look. I don't know any of these people. But I have looked at this video a few times. Look at those surveillance cameras and lights, maybe. It's nice. High quality. High quality surveillance. That's a nice video. That's a nice boulder. That's a nice boulder. The young girl might be the Brett Cooper replacement. No, I like Brett Cooper. So here's a picture of the Medal of Honor as well. And you can see the stars making up the Star of David. So there's that newscaster lady. I know her, but I always get her confused. She is the annoying one. In my opinion, she's very annoying because she also tries to do I think Trump has a high emotional intelligence? No. Do I think that she tries to instigate? Yes. And the way that she handled the H-1B visa situation and tried to make that go viral on the same day Mike Kelly or Mark Kelly, whatever his name is in the video telling people to not take illegal orders. And then the oversight Democrat Party cabinet, whatever they're called, is then falsely releasing emails from the DOJ files, trying to make Trump look guilty when those files are released without those redactions, all on the same day. You look freaking suspicious. And then you're on stage at UVU with the Kelly dude. I mean, it's just like, if you're gonna be weird, be better at being weird. Like, don't come out here, try to pretend like you're not doing anything suspicious, and then be obviously suspicious. Like, it's just be better. If we need better psyops, yes, Laura Ingram, thank you. Thank you. Laura Ingram, ingrained in my head that I don't like you, Laura. I don't. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I mean, am I a big Trump fan recently? No. But we all know about the CIA paying news personnel. So it is what it is, Laura. And you're with an interesting choice taking a selfie, like you know each other. I think this guy's name is Cohen or something. I don't know. Okay, that's that. And then we have Charlie Kirk's widow, Erika Kirk, making an appearance in Las Vegas during the Turning Point ribbon cutting at its new Las Vegas headquarters in March of 2026. As you can tell, guys, there is an In-N-Out burger tent here. And I was saying earlier, I bet they're not serving hot fudge sundaes because they don't have hot fudge sundaes at In-N-Out Burger. They only have chocolate milkshakes, which she quickly replaced in her statement. I did find it to be really interesting they have this there. Do I think that she ate animal style? No, I don't think she's cool enough. She probably got a plain, not even a double, probably like a single, because she's hearing about Barron talking about her fingers. And then I bet that she also did not get a shake at all, because you probably wouldn't have shake catering. You probably just wouldn't. But here's some pictures from that. And these ones are from the KLAS News. You can see the logo on the building and security up on the roof. So we have security up on the roof for the grand opening of the Las Vegas headquarters. We don't have security on the roof for Charlie Kirk at UVU. Very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting, Marsh. I am deleting that right now. Okay. And then here we have her up on stage with a nice green hat and all white on white. Turning Point Action is opening it up. We have a nice haircut right here that looks very familiar in the front row. It's a little bit interesting. I'm surprised we don't see our pal up in here. And also for it to be Turning Point Action instead of Turning Point USA on this stage, when this is a Turning Point Action building. Why is Turning Point Action opening up a headquarters in Las Vegas? It doesn't make any sense. That's not how that works. It shouldn't be like that. Turning Point USA should be opening up a headquarters there. You should be working on the movement's focus. You shouldn't be focusing so much on just the political aspect of that, because that was important, but that wasn't it. That wasn't what this is completely. So then we have what is going on after that. If you go to bwinsports.com, this is what it looks like. And it says, we're under construction. Please check back for an update soon. Very interesting choice that we will get into. Then you can go to the Enclave and Key Instagram. The username is Enclave Key. It has 3,001 followers at the time I took this screenshot, and it's following 31 people. I wanted to also note, it says in the bio, if you know what we do, you know how to reach us. Okay. Then it has enclaveandkey.com. Enclave, a place or ground that is different from those surrounding it. You have all these companies on here that they were working with. Oh, another lightning bolt. My gosh, how did I see that again? I also want to note right here, weirdest thing about this, the E and the K are different, even though they're all capitalized letters in the title. And the E was really weirding me out. I'm not trying to insinuate anything. I'm just trying to say this is a very bizarre series of events we're going to get into that make me more uncomfortable the more and more I uncover. And I feel like it gets pretty saucy over and over again. This is just a screen grab from this week. And part of the things that Enclave and Key does is basically help get your story out. And I'll go into this with the Wayback Machine and everything. But they basically pay influencers to tell your story. So if you feel like there's been some weird bots on X or weird influencers promoting something, you know that they're probably getting paid to promote. You know, the Wynn Empire was promoting secondary and tertiary business that was not legal. So it's really interesting that we have some other weird things going on here. Not insinuating any guilt or anything like that, or that Steve or Blake had anything to do with those DOJ things. But it's weird. Also wanted to note, just going over this timeline again. So Steve Wynn opens the Mirage in 1989. In 1998, the Bellagio opens. In 2006, the Picasso elbow incident happens. In 2015, Wynn is discussed in the Jeffrey Circle emails, and Jeffrey is saying, no, my friends are very close with him. In 2017, Stephen Wynn is named the RNC finance chairman. And in 2018, the Wall Street Journal and others are exposing some allegations, and he resigns from both the RNC and his organization, his company. In 2018, Blake Wynn founds B Wynn Sports, later Just Wynn Holding Company is also founded. In 2019, there's gaming fines in Nevada for $20 million and in Massachusetts for $35 million. In 2024, Charlie Kirk is on the Celebrity Poker Tour promotion and has texts with Blake. And then in 2024, Stephen Wynn is also giving $500,000 to Turning Point. In 2024, Wynn Las Vegas forfeits $130 million and more as the largest casino forfeiture of its time. And in 2026, Turning Point Action opens up the Las Vegas headquarters with In-N-Out in the parking lot. The reason why any of this came about was Barron talking about it, and then I thought that these posts were really interesting. So before we get into the next episode, I do really want to focus on the statement, I am not dating Erika Kirk. Blake Wynn stated this, and I don't think that they're dating. Both Blake and Erika publicly denied the romance rumors. I want to lead with that. The real story isn't who's dating whom, it's the wiring underneath. So most of the reason why people have heard of this is because of this Project Constitution post that I was referencing. And in this post, Project Constitution is making some allegations based on people that came forward and reported. And two separate sources were reporting this. And then Blake Wynn. He states on May 28th, 2026, Blake Wynn here. I hate to be the bearer of bad news to this cesspool of bots on X users that spend their entire day making things up under the guise of journalism, but I am not dating Erika Kirk. Okay. Then, I think there's more. Yep. Okay. Also wanted to know, Blake Wynn has two Twitters. One seems to be something he's not really using anymore of 2017. We have Enclave_CEO. His YouTube channel is on there for Just Win with 18,000 followers, following 47 people. Who's our 47th president? Then we have Blake Wynn, following 21 with 2,171 followers. 2,171 followers, if I just said that backwards. He's the founder, CEO, and angel investor at his username BlakeWin22. And he has two accounts. So I thought it was interesting. This one's from September 2024. This one is from July of 2016. Then we have Erika's rebuttal to this. So Erika's rebuttaling, and she says to the same post I was discussing, every single word here is a lie. Charlie's love will last me a lifetime. The Lord is the only one who can ever fill that most painful void. On May 14th, I was home in Arizona celebrating my son's second birthday. Blake, who is about to be engaged to his longtime GF, was a dear friend of my husband's, and I am grateful for his continued support, just like hundreds of others. Your deranged obsession with me and blatant disregard for any form of truth whatsoever is deeply disturbing, and I am praying for you to get the help you clearly need. Brush off the Dorito dust and touch grass. And go touch grass. First of all, you must be watching if you are that that's such a random dig. It's such a weird thing to say. Number two, who capitalizes Doritos? And also, why are you saying he's about to be engaged to his longtime girlfriend? Foot in mouth. What if that's not a public thing? Did you just ruin an engagement through this? It's really weird. It's really weird. It's real weird. So she's saying every single word there's a lie. She is. She's saying that. I think I duplicated the wrong... One second. Okay, I actually do want to also show this. Make sure that you guys can see it. Okay, so I also wanted to note that after his post where he's saying, Blake Wynn here, I hate to be the bearer of bad news to the cesspool of bots and ex-users that spend their entire day making up things under the guise of journalism, but I am not dating Erika Kirk. Project Constitution. Where were you on Thursday, May 14th? Do you have anything that would show you were not in Beverly Hills? Feel free to DM me privately if you would rather talk there. Where I stand is I can absolutely place Erika with a guy at that hotel on that date. So there is always a possibility that the witness is incorrect about you being there being the guy, and I am open to that, but need further details to dispute it. My only motive is finding the truth, so I'd be happy to correct if the record you can show, if you can show, correct the record if you can show me something that proves you were somewhere else. Thanks. Blake Wynn. Where you stand is you have to tag team one of Helen Keller. You have a tag team of Helen Keller and AI generated audio as your source, and I feel bad for anyone that follows your garbage. Then why are you responding to it? Project Constitution. So I guess that's a no. If you show me something that disproves this story, I will immediately publish a correction. I need more than just a trust me bro, though. Sorry, I had to post that. Okay. Moving on. Back to the story that I'm about to wrap up. Oh no, I have to potty so bad. Okay. So, back to the story. Late May 2026, we have this claim that's saying Erika's moving on with Blake Wynn. Erika's denying it. Blake is denying it. Multiple outlets are saying that it's a false viral speculation. I do think that it's not true. I believe them. I don't think it's romance, but I think that the rumor accidentally bumped into something real. A Wynn and the Kirks are genuinely close. So the story was never the bedroom. I think it's the boardroom. And I think that that's what we have going on here. We have a casino empire. We have millions of dollars being used, elbows going through paintings, people living lifestyles that the normal American is never going to live. And then we have not romance. We have what I literally believe is two empires coming together for an infrastructure of casino money, youth voter data, remember Superfeed, poker and betting's going where online. You would want to know the data and statistics of young voters wired together by family and friendship before the tabloids ever showed up. I don't believe they're dating. I believe when we follow the money and the data, there's a lot more that's not gossip. And you know, as they say, Shabbat Shalom, somebody's home. So I'm going to put a lot of the gossip to bed at the end of this as I'm wrapping it up. In my opinion, I don't think there is a bed that anyone's going to. I don't think it's a love story. I think they told you it's not a love story. They're telling us that themselves. And I think that they're being honest about that. It's not a crime. I've not accused anyone of a crime. But when we look at what's left standing on the public record, we have a casino dynasty that paid government $130 million in that one instance. A patriarch under a decade of investigations who still writes checks to a youth movement. A nephew who built his fortune on young people's attention, texting that movement's founder on the next steps days after an election. Also, who's in New York City at the same time as a widow. And when that founder was gone, his movement planted its newest flag in the Wynn family's hometown. I don't think this is a coincidence. I think it's infrastructure. I think the casino money and the youth voter data could easily be wired together by family and friendship long before anyone whispered the word boyfriend or any tabloid showed up. So don't take my word for it. I will put the sources in the description so you can go look, and I'm going to have a few more parts to this. And I would love your comments and things that you think I might have missed just in these things I went over. There's a lot more threads that I have been tugging on. I got here through doing what I always do, making a timeline, looking at it and being like, well, that's really weird. And honestly, what started this was the Utah data center. Both of these are built to mirror empires that somebody wanted to control. And I think that's what we continuously see here. So, who's winning? Who's winning? I don't know. I don't know who's winning. The Dorito, why diss Dorito enthusiast? I'm not dissing Dorito enthusiasts. I just don't know why she's like responding to it. She does respond to the most odd things. I think odd people do that. Why is everything from Erika and her psycho? Oh. Yeah, I mean, I think that you could definitely answer things differently. So I've not done this a lot, but I do have a super I'm gonna read. So thank you, Zach, if you are still here, and telling me that the timeline looks great, perfectly designed. Thank you so much. That actually made my day, and thank you so much for the super. Thank you guys for being here today. I feel really weird that I only talked for 2 hours and 15 minutes. Having an uncomfortable chair in a hotel room apparently makes me get through it faster. So I'm not as comfy as I am at my house. I hope, I just said again. So I'm sure I'll get a comment about that. I hope that you guys all, thank you. Thank you so much. I hope that you guys all have a lovely evening, and I hope that you like my new hat. It was a gift from a cool friend that I have. And my friend also had this cool sweater made for me. I wish I could show you the back of it, actually. It has corn on my hair. You can see my pillows. I'm not going to be able to show this well. I'm going to move because my thing is moving over here. No. It has corn on the back of it. Like a literal cornfield with a book. My hair is like in the way. It's the coolest thing ever. I love it. And I'm wearing my shirt because I got this lovely gift. And I kind of like this hat because it covers when I'm crying. But now I just am all discombobulated to tell you goodbye. But thank you guys for coming. Thank you for patience. I was on the road this week as well. And there's a really good video from Nisi Social, I think is how you say it, that dives into this more. And Blake was pretty young too. Blake is pretty young. So I think when you like to mold people, you surround yourself with people that are easy to influence. So thank you for loving the hat. I do love the hat. I'm wanting to get some. I don't know why it just did that about the Twitter. Oh, I do. Cass, apparently, when you say ages like YO, that is apparently like a weird PDF thing to do. I'm not calling you one, but it is flagged so that blocks it so we don't have anyone talking about kids like that. So I am really sorry just to explain that to you, and I apologize that happened. So thank you so much, Miss Jackson. You have that song in my head reading your name. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I would sing it, but I'm not going to. I just did for a second. I feel like a country music sensation when I can move this thing like this. I usually have an arm, so I feel like I'm like Hannah Montana up in here. You get the best of both worlds. I'm just kidding. I can't sing. I want to make one out of real tinfoil or EMF material that's comfortable and that has a string. My normal one over there has a string, and I bought a Buc-ee's one this week. I'm actually super excited about it. I bought the kids one because it was colorful and it's small and I have a tiny head, but I would really like the one with the string too, to use it all the time. I really like boating on the ocean, and my dream is to move to the ocean. So you really need a string with your hats when you're out there. It's windy, when you're on the ocean where we should be. I would love a catamaran. So, thank you all for coming. Hope you have a good night. I'm losing my voice and really need to work on my sound skills and listening to myself and improving my voice. But thank you for putting up to me. And just remember, I do give a damn about way too much. Bye.